Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Eating Good in the Hood, and this is where we take world-class recipes and give them that use what you got in the kitchen twist. Look around and enjoy some of the recipes. We redid the website so it's going to be easier to follow, and we got some really good recipes coming up. Now, this first recipe that we're going to do, the one that we're going to do now, is the real deal mushroom risotto. There have been a lot of requests for this, and this is the actual plate that I cooked for the video. So we're going to show you how we did that. Now, this risotto is the authentic Italian style, and it's cooked slow. And a lot of people don't want to go through what it takes to make it, but it's really worth it. And once you learn how to do it, it really is easy. Goes good with just about anything. And you want to cook the rice just a little bit underdone. When you bite down on it, it kind of resists a little bit, but it's not hard in the center. So that's how you want to cook it. Now the ingredients, you start with about 6 cups of chicken broth. You can buy the chicken broth, or I usually make it out of chicken breast bones. When I buy chicken, I'll do get the split breast, and I'll cut them off, cut the breast off the meat. Or else, a couple of weeks ago, I did a turkey, uh, roasted a turkey, and then I took all the bones and I boiled them down and got the uh, the broth off of the turkey. And I'll just take that juice, strain it, and put it in a Ziploc bag, sit it in a bowl, and let it freeze. And then I'll just keep it in the freezer until I'm ready for it. You need some olive oil for the skillet, uh, about 2 pounds of sliced mushrooms. Portobello are the best to use, but you can mix them, or else you can just use just plain mushrooms. Uh, Quarter cup of diced shallots. Now, if you never use shallots, shallots really have a big onion flavor. A lot of people don't like to see the onions in there. That's why I use shallots. I can dice them up real little, and it'll be like onion is all the way through it, but you won't be able to see it. But you can use any kind of onions. I think I use red onions for this one. Half a cup of dry white wine. Now, I buy a cheap big gallon. I'll show it to you later. For cooking, I just use it for cooking. I don't want to pay no $7 or $8 for a bottle of wine just to pour a cup of it in some rice. No, I don't want to do that. So I'll just buy a big gallon of it and keep it in the cabinet and cook with it. A little sea salt, black pepper, 3 tablespoons of chives, some butter or margarine, and small green peas. I like to put peas and some carrots in there for color, and also to kind of stretch it a little bit. Now, in a saucepan, you heat the broth over medium heat. Well, I usually bring it to a boil first, and then I turn it down till it stops boiling. Now, when you make your broth, like I said, you can buy it in a box or a can, but I usually have enough chicken or some turkey or something around here that I can just boil it down, and I'll strain it. So, because sometimes when you make the broth, the chicken or whatever you make will be in the broth, and then when you make the risotto, it'll be full of chicken. That's okay if that's what you want, but I usually just strain it off so that it will be there. Now, if that broth tastes good, however that broth tastes, that's how your risotto is going to taste. Now, what I'll do, I'll take 2 tablespoons of olive oil and put them in a skillet, saucepan over medium heat. And you have to be careful with the olive oil, because if you put it under high heat, it's going to start smoking really soon. Now, I'll stir in a few mushrooms. Mushrooms make water, so be careful with that, and cook them till they're soft, about 3 minutes or so. And like I say, you can use portobello, or you can use regular. It doesn't matter, but the portobello really tastes a lot a lot better to me, but it's still good risotto. Now, after you cook or saute the mushrooms, just go ahead and put them in a bowl, all of the juice and everything, and just keep that to the side. Just keep it ready. Now, I'll take some onions. These are red onions. I just took them and diced them. No, that's not red onions. I'm sorry. Those are like shallots to me. So I took some shallots and I cut those up. The last time I made some, I guess I used red onions, but this time I did use shallots. Um, and sometimes I also put in a little onion powder to boost the flavor of those onions. I don't get onion salt or anything like that. If I'm going to get the onion powder or garlic powder, I just get the straight powder without the salt in it. That way you won't run the risk of putting too much salt in your food. Now, once the onions are getting a little translucent, look like they're about cooking, stir them up in there. You don't want them to cook all the way because they're going to burn if you do. So now you take what the however much 1 cup or however much rice we said put in there. Take your rice. I use jasmine rice sometimes, but this time I use arborio, and it's kind of like a puffy like rice, and it cooks up pretty good. And but you can just use plain Mahatma rice. That'll work fine also. Put your rice in there and then just stir it. Now, when you stir that rice, just keep stirring it. You'll hear it start to pop a little bit. See that rice is turning brown? Well, keep stirring it. Sometimes you may have to put just a little more oil in there, but it'll start smelling like popcorn and you'll hear it popping. And that's when it's ready for the liquid. Now, here is what I was telling you about the authentic Italian. I just get a gallon of cheap white wine and put a cup of that in there. It'll, once you put it in there, the alcohol will come off, but you don't have to put wine in there. I just do because it gives it a different flavor. You don't have to use expensive wine, just any kind of white wine will do. The wine will steam up and the alcohol is going to get released, but just keep stirring it, and the steam is going to come off of it and just the wine flavor will be left. You just keep stirring it until all the liquid is gone. When it starts to get a little dry, you'll kind of feel it. It'll have a little bit in the bottom of the skillet, but it'll start slowing down. I guess you could say start sticking to the skillet. So then you take, I don't know, a ladle of your chicken stock, your warm chicken stock, and just keep stirring it. Just keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. When that liquid is gone, then you put another spoon in there. You stir it, and then when the it takes about maybe 15 minutes or so. Keep doing that, but you taste it after about the third ladle. Taste it and see if the rice is cooking. If it's just about, getting there, then go ahead and put your mushrooms back in and just keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. Put your little butter in there. You see how that rice is rising up or swelling up, and it's full of liquid now, so the rice will keep going. But keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. Now, I like to add a few of those little bitty green sweet peas in there. You can put the frozen in there right about now. And then I like to put some carrots or something in there just to give it a little more, I guess you can say, color. But it also adds a little more so you can stretch it. You can put some chicken in there. You can put some sausage in there. You can put whatever you want just to make more. Or just give it a different flavor. This is where you start putting the different things in to make it taste like you want it. Also, put some cheese in there. Parmesan is good. Put some Parmesan in there and just keep stirring it. That Parmesan will melt just a little bit and it'll stick that rice together. And that's pretty cool. I like how that does. Now I have a special type Parmesan wafer that I do. I like the big shredded. Instead of the grated Parmesan, I like the shredded. And what I'll do, I'll grease a cookie sheet and I'll pour a pile of it on there and kind of pat it together. Maybe 3 inches round, just like a little wafer or something. And pat them together. And then what I'll do, I'll take them, I'll put them in the oven. And then once they cook, I don't know, few minutes on one side at about 350, or you can broil them. It won't take no time to broil them, but make sure you can get your spatula and flip them over and then let them brown on the other side, and that Parmesan will melt together and it'll make a little wafer that goes really good with the risotto. And when you finish, you scoop it on the plate, put you a few Parmesan wafers on there, and man, it's really good. You can get some grilled chicken or something and cut it up in cubes, and then stir that in there toward the end. And you can just have this for one meal. It'll have everything in it that you need, and it just won't be plain rice, man. That risotto is some good stuff. So, if it's anything y'all want to know that need me to clarify anything, just let me know. Shoot me an email, give me a call, whatever, and we'll get it done. And look out for some more recipes that's coming pretty soon. I appreciate it, and you have a good one. Thanks.